I do believe that I have a Norma Clark on the line. Norma is a concerned citizen who she keeps up to date with what's going on. She's fed up with the way things have been going. And if I understand correctly, she's a Trump supporter, but she also likes Cruz a lot. I also have Kevin Scholla, who is the host and creator of Mama Grizzly Radio. He's a professional broadcaster and a Trump supporter. And I should have Melody and Greg Potter. They are our New Yorkers on the line, and they're also looking to see change in our government. And they've embraced an outsider in this election, and that is Carson. So let me start by saying, Norma, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, and Kevin, are you on the line with us as well?
I am, Adrienne. Merry Christmas. Thanks for having me. And I like the Mendiza opening. That was awesome.
Oh, yeah, kind of get you pumped up. We've got to be overcomers, Kevin.
Absolutely.
Yes. And then I have Melody and Greg Potter. I think they might be sharing a phone tonight. Are you both with us?
Yes, we're here, Adrienne.
Hi, Adrienne.
Hello. All right, so what we're going to do, first of all, I want to just, in the short time that we have, I want to go around the metaphoric table, so to speak. And I want to, this election cycle, we're seeing the outsiders with the commanding leads. And it's unlike anything that people expected, I believe. And so, as I said, the pundits, the politicians, they don't like it. And even there's rumors about some backroom conniving going on. And so here's my question. Why are the outsiders running the show? I mean, Cruz is a senator, but he's definitely considered anti-establishment. So in about maybe 10 seconds around the table, why are the outsiders running the show? Without even talking about the particular candidate yet that you support, just overall, I'll start with you, Kevin. Why do you think the outsiders are doing as well as they're doing? What's going on?
Well, I think you touched on a little bit of it, but, these are going to be primary voters, which means these are people that are dialed in and are not low information. And when you have a successful businessman like Mr. Trump, when you have the greatest neurosurgeon in the history of the country in Dr. Carson, and when you have an elected official who actually stuck to campaign promises, primary voters are going to go there because they are sick and tired of the go-along-to-get-along gang that just lets Barack Obama and the liberals do whatever they want.
All right. Okay. And Norma, what about you? What do you think is going on?
Well, I have to agree. That's the reason that I look at Trump is because he is not a Washington insider. And it just seems to be that once they go to Washington, there are very few that don't just turn into the bubble. I mean, they just turn into that. They do not hear the American people. And we are out here. We are the ones that are supporting everyone. We are the ones out here who are doing all the work. And then they don't even listen to us. It's like the media is in that bubble with them, and that's all they hear. They don't hear us. So. All
right, Melody, what do you say?
And, well, Adrienne, that's what I feel about Ben, and that's what draws me to him is that he's not a politician. He's an everyday kind of guy. He's successful, he's intelligent, and he's just steady. He's steady.
Yeah.
And I don't like the hype. I don't like the mean gene kind of thing. And he really sticks to good morals, good principles, good ideas with solutions, and in a calmly, and on a level that I can, understand. I mean, he's one of us, truly, not a politician.
All right, Greg, you agree with your wife there, or what do you want to add?
Oh, absolutely. Everybody's pretty much said the same thing, and the establishment they're not working for the American people anymore. They're working for themselves. They're working for private interests. They're working for the military-industrial complex. And I think people are just fed up with it, and they're seeing our society just deteriorate. And there's definitely an agenda at hand.
Okay.
You wanted to touch on that a little bit, but we'll leave that alone.
Well, I hear what you're all saying, and there's certainly something to be said for being tired of people who are just going along to get along or are just feeding themselves, so to speak. But I guess the question is, we're in such a crucial time in our country. Can these people govern? Are they able to lead? Having not been really, other than Cruz, really entrenched. So I want you to speak to that, in particular with the candidate of your choice. So I'm going to throw that to Kevin. Your support. Tell us again who you're supporting, and just quickly tell us why.
Well, Mr. Trump, just speaking out and speaking up for us and not apologizing for wanting to make our country safer and better. And, he's diagnosing problems. He's offering his solutions. But what I really like is that he can't be bought and sold. He doesn't need money. He doesn't need to get in. These congressmen, they get in and they come out millionaires even though they're making a modest salary. So go figure, right? So, and the other thing about Trump that I like is, not only will he call out Hillary and Obama, but he also can get support from some independents and others. I contend that the last two presidential elections, no one voted for John McCain or Mitt Romney. People either voted for Barack Obama or against Barack Obama. There was no gravitas. There was no popularity from the other candidate. And you need someone that people actually want to vote for. You had Sarah Palin on the ticket with the John McCain situation. People did vote for her. But I really believe that in both of those situations, it was either a for Obama or an against Obama vote. So that's as far as getting in. Once you win, you have to do the job, like you said. And we've seen what Trump has done in his life. I think he's smart enough to know what he knows and know what he doesn't know, and he would surround himself with the very best people.
Mm-hmm. And Norma, Trump is your first choice as well. So
yes,
why?
I agree with Kevin. I mean, he's not afraid of the media, but yet he will stick to his guns. I mean, he doesn't just let the media push him around, and then he tries to apologize for something that he said whenever. I believe he is a very thoughtful person. I think a lot of people think he's just a nonchalant, guy that just, says whatever, comes to his mind, on the top of his hat. But he doesn't do that. I really believe he is a very thoughtful person. He thinks about what he's going to say. And then he's determined that he's going to stick by it. And we need someone like that. I mean, and I'm not saying I really like Ted Cruz. I'm at this point, I just feel like that we need someone in there like Trump who is not going to just be, listening to every little thing that comes along. I don't know that Ted Cruz would do that. I really do like him, and I know that he has taken a hard stance against the progressive liberals and even the Republicans. But the thing about it is I'm just not sure that he has what it takes to be able to control the media, which I think is going to, someone is going to have to do that. I really like Ben Carson also, but I just don't know if Ben Carson has what it takes to, like I said, even with Cruz, if he's going to be able to control the media, because if they cannot do that somewhat, and they're going to be, even if they become president, it is going to be it's going to be devastating for them. And so I just feel like that, Trump overall is the one that can take it and go with it and maybe not have as many repercussions from the media, because I think all of them are going to have to deal with that after this is over.
Well,
so that's where I'm coming from.
Okay. Well, either Melody or Greg, weigh in here, because Norma said, I'm not sure. I mean, she likes Cruz, but she's not sure if he can do what needs to be done. Obviously, he has your support, so you must be confident that he can. So talk to us about that.
Well, when you look at what Dr. Ben Carson has been through in his life, he's come from a humble means, and with the with his mother's guidance, he really pulled himself out of a situation that was extremely tough. So that's going to add a lot to his character. He understands trials and tribulations and being able to overcome that. So he's got that going for him. And then this incredible success he's had, not just as the leading neurosurgeon in this country, but the entire world. So he's traveled the world and healed children, and that's gained him a lot of respect all over the world. And We need a statesman that can go anywhere in this world and be known for the good things that he's done. Not somebody that's just obsessed about creating a business, which is, just generating a tremendous amount of wealth for himself. Like, Donald Trump, hey, that's great that he's a successful businessman, but who is that for? But Dr. Ben Carson, now, his success, now, who is that for? Who benefited from that? Yeah, the guy's got a decent living, but he certainly doesn't have the riches that Trump has. So just the very fact that he's able to stay in this race, look at the money he's been able to garner from his supporters. So, Trump could pay for this whole bill himself. But
and Adrienne, Trump gives me a feeling of uneasiness. The man is good with the media because the man has been around Hollywood and all the elites, and he's just been in the heavy mix of the drama, and has he does have somewhat of a shady background.
He openly admitted in an interview that he will do or say what he needs to do to get what he wants.
So I'm hearing that you don't trust Trump at all. I mean, you're not just pro-Carson. Are you anti-Trump?
I was at a Second Amendment rally in Albany, and he showed up in his helicopter, and the one guy that could have beaten the current governor, Estorino, he showed up, and everybody thought he was there to support him, and it was the most bizarre thing I ever saw. He didn't support him at all. It left everybody with a big question mark. Why did he even show up? And I said, this guy's got an agenda.
Yeah,
okay, so right. So you don't trust him. So I'm going to just shift really quickly to those who do trust Trump. One of the criticisms that he faces is that he's not a true conservative, and that you don't know what he's going to do when he gets in there. So I have to ask Kevin. I have to ask you, what makes you, and then he just went after Cruz, which even Limbaugh and Hannity are saying, they've been, I think, speaking glowingly of him, but now they're thinking, why would he do that? Cruz is a true conservative in the eyes of conservatives, and yet he went after him and called him, said he was like a maniac. Kind of reminded me of what Senator John McCain, establishment, called conservative wacko birds. So why are you confident that he will govern as a conservative?
Well, you look who he's surrounding. Yeah, sure. You look who he's surrounding himself with. I mean, it's not GOP talking heads or party bosses or the party elites, the Karl Roves of the world that you mentioned. I mean, you have Katrina Pearson, who is his national spokesperson, a great Tea Party conservative who ran in Texas. You look at the respect Governor Sarah Palin has for him. So if you don't think Donald Trump has conservative in him, then I guess you think Sarah Palin and Katrina Pearson don't know what they're talking about. And, I think that the governor nailed it this past week, calling out the media for their false portrayal of Trump's ideas on the situation with Muslims, being a national security issue, not a religious issue. But, people try to hit on Trump for some of the boisterous things he says or some of the sensational comments. But if you really want to listen to what he's talking about, he's one of the few guys who's coming up with actual events of the past, talking about what Carter did with the Iran crisis, talking about Eisenhower when it came to the borders and things of that nature. Trump does have policies that are in play. His tax policy has been endorsed by a lot of fiscal conservatives. So I think he has it there. As far as the Hollywood worry, hey, look, let's face it. We know about Barack Obama, how he won with smoke and mirrors. And unfortunately, a lot of people, instead of God being their God, if it's not a recycling bottle, their gods are Matt Damon and Beyonce and everybody else. So the fact that Donald Trump's going to get some of that vote, because he does have friends in that business, will help him. You're going to have to get some people that you may not agree with to vote for your candidate, just like Reagan did.